What's up, YouTube? I mentioned on the last video something to do with speed and type of riding as it relates to the type of bike you're on. And I think that's a big deal, riding according to the design of the bike, or purchasing the type of bike that is designed for the riding you want to do. A lot of bikes for the street, there's no possibility that you could use their potential. You know, bikes like an R1, because its power zone, you know, is just too high up in the range, eh? And then you're just so far beyond legal. It's crazy, you know. I mean, this bike here, the CB650F, is, I mean, it's a strong runner, but it's you know, pales in comparison to something like an R1, but not in the lower register. I think the R1's 0 to 100 is 3.1 seconds, and this 0 to 100 for the CB650F is 3.2. So not a lot of difference in that respect. But as soon as you get to speeds, you know, 150 and above, or something like that, 130 and above, the R1 is going to pull away fast and be much stronger. But the question is, do you use it? And if you do, are you comfortable with that? I mean, I don't know how you can use it on the street. This one here is tough enough to use the potential on the street without being kind of crazy, eh? So when I ride this on that road we were just on, that road becomes a crazy beautiful road for riding, because it is just so fast, so curvy, and usually there is not much traffic, so you can really let it loose. And on a bike like this, I mean, yeah, legally I can get myself into a whole mess of trouble. So the question is, if you like riding fast, how fast of a bike do you buy? What makes sense and what doesn't make sense? For me, just me personally, and it's just my opinion, something like this bike here, the CB650F, is as fast as I would want a bike. You know, this has 90 horsepower, it's an inline 4, and it makes power right up through the rev range. It just keeps on making more. And you can have just as much fun on this as you could, I'm guessing, on an R1, unless you're into the territory where the R1 excels, you know, something like that. And then, I mean, I think that's crazy, especially streets like we have around here, where you have wildlife that can jump out at you at any second. I mean, I scan way down the road, and I'm looking on the sides of the road. I'm using all of my vision all the time, never slack up on that, because it's so darn important. Last thing I want to do is run into a deer, but I question the ability to do that if you're riding close to 200 kilometers per hour or above. So back to the decision about what bike to buy. If someone's considering, well, that's the thing, is to think about, well, how do you want to ride? What are you prepared for? What kind of risks are you willing to take? I think the other day when I was riding on the last video there, I talked about the last bike I had, the CRF 250L, and you know, I couldn't get into extreme illegal territory with that because, well, it just didn't go that fast, right? And the acceleration was rather slow. And so the fun that I had on that bike was, I mentioned, was dialed back, but not really dialed back. More, it was of a different sort, right? So you could have fun on a bike like that, railing around the twisties and giving it the beatings, and you're still not getting into dangerous territory. You know, something like a supermoto, I would imagine, would be a heck of a lot of fun. So buying a bike that has the power in the range where you can have a lot of fun and not be crazy makes a whole lot of sense to me. Although I get the attraction of the kind of power that those super bikes have. I really do, but it's something that, in my mind, if I had something like that, I would only want to enjoy on a track. Okay, we're back on the highway now. Well, there's a fair bit of traffic, but everyone's going a good pace. Well, everyone was going a good pace. But that's okay, I'm not going too far. I'm gonna go up the snaky hill here and then turn around and go back. Well, we won't be able to let it fly going up this. Too much traffic. It's a nice little stretch though when there's an empty road. So if I had an R1 on this road, I don't think that would be a very good idea. I would be tempted to use the power of that bike. And yeah, probably get myself into trouble. This one's plenty for me. And I think it'd be plenty for anyone, except, you know, if you happen to be able to use a track. Maybe we'll have a bit of a run going down without traffic. That's the end of that. Fortunately, there's always good scenery wherever I ride. If you gotta go slow, enjoy the view. Well, we're back in town. Back in civilization. Civilized riding, civilized speeds. Anyway, that's it for that video. So let me know what you think in the comments about all that. Do you think there's a place for super sports, that type of bike on the street where the power is so high up? What kind of bikes do you like? And do you ride something that totally suits the type of riding you really want to do? Anyway, take care. Ride safe.